Good morning, I'm Maria from the Rich and Simple Living, and today's Tuesday, so I've come back with a vlog. You have to excuse me, I haven't brushed my hair yet. It's quite early-ish and I haven't got around to brushing my hair. So I'm in a different setting as well today. I'm in the other room because Lisa's off work and they're doing Halloween things together, her and Sean in the other room. They've been up early doing things for Halloween, so I'm in here and so I feel a bit disorientated. But yeah, I was coming back to talk about what sort of resources we use for homeschooling, other than, I use the Collins workbooks. Just a minute, I'm just trying to adjust you. I'm not sure if you're crooked or not. Sorry about that. Yeah, I use the Collins workbooks and some CGP workbooks. So we use workbooks. They're mainly what we use. Twinkle, I use a lot of Twinkle, as you know. We download things that might be going on, special activities, things like that. Or I just simply like to download comprehension sheets to see what triggers Sean's interest that we can look further into. So we do use a lot of them. Now, I don't use many resources at all. I haven't got a great vast amount of them. Like I say, we use mostly the study books and Twinkle sheets. We do use BBC Bite Size. We watch a lot of BBC Bite Size. We can get a lot of information on there, and that's a really good site to use. They did have it on television, but I don't think it's on television now. I think that was just when the COVID was about. They featured it on television, but we get it up on our tablets, laptops, etc. So we do use a lot of that. I have been known to Google for free resources. As I showed you a couple of weeks ago when it was World Peace Day, we Googled for some free things because they didn't have anything on Twinkle. So there are places, lots of places online. If you Google something, that will bring up resources and you can go onto websites and get further things and pay for things and things like that. But we don't tend to bother. That was more or less a one-off. Just once in a blue moon, I'll just Google something for free resources and see what it gives me. But we don't tend to do that as a rule. What else? We watch documentaries. Now, they're very good. We enjoy watching documentaries. They're very educational. So if we're studying something or Sean's got an interest in something, because in the morning we do the structured work, in the afternoon she just does the work she wants to do, picks what she wants to do. We might watch a documentary on something that she's mentioned or something that we've been studying in one of the books. So things like that are really useful documentaries. We also pick subjects out. Like I say, she might be interested in a subject, or it might be a special time of year, say like now Halloween, bonfire night's coming up. So perhaps pick one of them subjects and she can Google things, research things, and she's got the big exercise book, the big essay book as we call it, and she'll write what she's discovered in there. So she'll do a write-up about it. So we tend to do that. And we tend to go out and about places as well. We haven't been for a couple of weeks, but we tend to go visiting. We visit lots of homes and castles, and we go on woodland walks. I've not shown any of them. I have filmed a couple of them actually. A few weeks ago I filmed them. I thought, do they look a bit boring just as wandering along the woods? Not doing anything in particular. But so I've never put them on. But I have filmed some of them. But yeah, woodland walks, this time of year is lovely for woodland walks when the leaves are falling off the trees and the horse chestnuts are dropping the conkers and things like that. And, you walk and you talk. I find they're great times just to walk and talk about things and discuss what you see around you and how things work and what's what. They're really great, and it puts you so in touch with everything around you and each other as well. I really enjoy doing that. So that's really the sort of thing we do. We don't use many actual physical resources. We are going more towards natural things now. When Sean first left primary school, And I really, to be honest, I don't think it did us any great favours, Sean going to primary school, because it just left us in the mindset of working like school does. And I kept thinking, oh, got to do what school does, got to, you know, do this lesson, that lesson, the other lesson. And I really was stuck in that mindset. And it took me 7 months to get out of it. Well, from the September when we started homeschooling right through to the following Easter, I was in school mindset. It was only when we took the Easter break, because Sean still has her holidays like school does, because she, like my granddaughter, trying to say how to put it, her niece, my granddaughter, they were in the same class at school, and they like to spend time together, and so it's like to share the holidays, and we like to go out together and things like that. And she can meet other friends and other nieces and nephews. It sounds funny saying that because she's sort of in their age groups, but that's what happens when you start having your children at 21 and finish at 45. They're like a generation apart. But yeah, she still has her holidays and everything. So it was very difficult. It was only after that Easter holiday, suddenly I thought, you know, I don't have to be doing it like school. We're not school. So I'd already bought all the books. She'd been working from all the books. So because the Key Stage 3 books, we're still working through them. We think we'll probably be finished them by the end of what this school year would be. So that'd be July of next year, the end of her year 8. We'll have finished them. Some may be finished earlier, and we're going to move into doing things of interest, things that Sean's interested in. So it'd be a bit like picking your subjects, you know, in school when they get to, is it the end of year 9, they pick subjects that they want to do for GCSE years. It'd be a bit like that, but we're not doing GCSEs or nothing. I'm just swapping from like that school format with the books over to doing more what we want to do, because we wanted to, I always knew that we were going to home educate in secondary year, so we didn't apply for a school at the end of year 6. We didn't apply for a school, so I always knew, but I always felt that I was going to be sort of, well, have Sean self-led, do the things we want to learn about life around us and nature and the things she needed to know when she grew up. I wasn't even thinking about doing schoolwork, other than things like, obviously I wanted her to keep being able to add up and take away and do the basics, because obviously she needs that when she leaves school. When you've got a home and things like that, you need to have some basics. Although now I'm swinging towards, well, if you can work a calculator, you'll be all right. But it's true, isn't it? Because if you go into a bank or somewhere, you don't see the bank teller sitting there with a pen and paper adding up what you're giving them. They're doing it all on a machine like that, and the machine's doing it for them. It's not coming out of there, it's coming out of the machine. So all you've got to do is learn how to work the machine and what you've got to do. So I'm thinking, well, you know, as long as she can work a calculator and she knows what she's got to do, then that's the main thing. So yeah, but it goes to show how much school makes you think you've got to do things a certain way, and you don't. You've got to stop and think, well, what do you really need to do when you grow up? So yeah, I think that is why I bought all the books in the first place. It's because I was so geared to school and lessons, and you've got to do this and got to do that. Because although I used to sit, when I used to go and watch like sports days or plays and things like that, I used to sit sort of daydreaming sometimes when other classes were performing, and I used to think, when she gets to year 7, we'll be able to do all the nice things we want to do, we'll be able to explore things around us and whatnot. And never once did I realise how much school was indoctrinated into me, because when she left, it was suddenly like, oh, we've got to do this, we've got to do that, and virtually a school timetable. So that was why I got all the Key Stage 3 books. And it was only sort of, well, Easter this year, obviously Easter this year, I lose track of where we are. That was when I suddenly thought, in the Easter holidays, I suddenly thought, you know, it doesn't matter, I should have stuck to what I wanted to do in the first place. But I was so convinced you're going to have all these education officers on your back and you've got to do it this way and got to do it that way. And I suddenly realised, no, you haven't. You haven't got to do it that way at all. All I've got to do is give her an education that is suitable for her needs and will, you know, take her into an adult life. That's all we've got to do, a suitable education for her so she can handle life when she grows up and get a job. So that is all we've got to do. And I thought, well, to get a job, it's got to be something she's interested in, and, you know, so therefore she's got to learn things she's interested in. And the beauty about homeschool is if you change your mind, you can change what you're doing. So it just sort of dawned on me, and I thought, I wasted my time with all these books because I've not done how I wanted to do it in the first place. So now we do swing towards putting a lot of things in that she likes doing herself, which is why I like doing the Twinkle comprehension sheets, because it brings things to mind that she'd like to do. She, you know, in the interest department, what else she'd like to learn, because she'll see something and go, I don't know about that, or little facts of information. We do Google things a lot. We do use Google a lot. Now, some people say about, oh, using the internet, shouldn't use it and all that. Well, yeah, tell the schools that. They're on the internet all the time. Though these IT lessons they do, that's what they're gearing them up for, working with things like that. That's why Sean can use them all and I can't. She teaches me. So, you know, I don't worry about Googling things because you find information out that way. I mean, if you're Googling nonsense, that's a different thing. You're wasting your time Googling nonsense, unless you're having a bit of leisure time. But, you know, information-wise, everything's out there. You can find it by Googling. You can read more about it, learn more about it, find where resources are. Another resource, actually, we do is Sean loves reading. So we tend to buy books. We haven't got a library by us. We used to get a travelling library, but I've not seen it for years. I think it's just another one of those cutbacks. So we're not anywhere near a library. And so Sean gets bought a lot of books. She loves studying books and reading books. In fact, her afternoons when she does a self-led time, she's either doing art or she's reading. At the moment, she's reading a book on Russia. The book's probably about that thick. It's a paperback book, smallish book. It's quite thick. And it's all writing, no pictures. And it's reading, it's about Russia. I can't remember, I think it covers 5 of their, do they call them presidents, prime ministers, whatever they are in Russia. And right up to modern times anyway. And she's already read 3. And I says to her, is it interesting, that book? Because to be quite honest, I don't think I'd want to tackle it. She goes, yeah, it's brilliant. She goes, I love it. It's really interesting. And everywhere she goes, she's carrying this book with her and reading it. She's on a car journey and she's loving it. But she's learning so much about the country and the different presidents, prime ministers, whatever they are. I think they're presidents. I don't know. I think they are. But anyway, she knows. But she's learning all about that. She's studying all about that. Something she wouldn't be doing if she was at school. So yeah, she likes that. So she'll pick subjects in the afternoons. Sometimes she'll like to sit and draw. Sometimes might just want to go out for a walk or something like that. We were going to do more walks, some country walks by us, but I've not got around to doing them yet. It seems that every time Dean's off as well, sorting out the garden, because it's that time of year and, you know, everything's done with and you're clearing up, and the garden looks in a worse mess now than before. So all that's slowly being sorted. I'm planning next year's outdoor jobs. So, but I want to sort the garden because we want to do the raised beds, like I said. So that's something else I want to do next year, is incorporate some garden into a schooling, some gardening into schooling. So she can learn, you know, how things grow and how to feed herself, things like that. So, you know, you'll always have food if you know how to grow seeds. Even if you haven't got much space, you just got a few buckets in the backyard, you can still grow plenty of things. So I want to her to learn all of that, although she's not sure whether she's going to be interested in that or not. But I said, well, it's one of those things really, if you know it, you know it, and you know, just in case. So yeah, resource wise, we don't use a great many resources. We're not one of these families that go to this place and that place, the other place, and we get all these different things from them. Like I say, we tend to buy books. Sean's got some fabulous books on different subjects, lots of different subjects. He's got a massive bookcase, well, a couple of massive bookcases. It's like a library in a room full of books. She's always loved books. So she likes normal reading books, and she loves all these books, documentary type books and things like that, teaching the things. So she's got a lot of that. And it's good because you never know what to buy her on birthdays and Christmases. So whatever she's interested in, you buy her books on, and she loves it. She thinks it's great. So we tend to use a lot of books. She likes to read. We tend to do documentaries. We Google, especially like if there's a special event coming up, or if there's something she's mentioned and we want to know more about. Like we did Samuel Pepys last week, and she did some Googling on him and found quite a lot about him. And now she knows all about it, and she can tell you all about it, because she was quite interested in that. If she's interested, she remembers very well. Otherwise, all she remembers is just a name, but there could be Joe Blogs to her, you know. Oh yeah, I know I did that, but I can't remember what it was about, type of thing. But yeah, so we Google information if we want to know something. We Google things. We go to Twinkle if we want some worksheets, just, you know, to kickstart her with things, or find some tasters of what she's interested in. Or if we're doing something and I want some of the nice sheets with pretty borders just to make it look good. We go on there. They do quite a few free ones of them. And the workbooks, I think there's other workbooks out there, but I just went mainly with the Collins workbooks. And that's it, I think. We don't really use anything else. We don't use any other resources, because everything we need is there, you know. Like I say, if you want to know a subject, you just Google it anyway, and you find all the information you want there. I mean, you can buy books on the subjects then if you want the books. That's what I like as well about Sean with the books. She likes to refer back to books, so if she's got them, she can get them out any time and read them and pack them away. Then months later she might want to look at it again or refer back to something in one of them. So yeah, that's it for resources really. We don't use a great many resources. We just stick to them few, because I find it does everything we want it to do. You know, I don't need to search anywhere else for anything. So yeah, that's it, I think. We've got anything exciting to tell you has been happening. Like I say, we're putting the Halloween decoration up. Don't know if you can see some in here on the ceiling. There's some ghosts behind me or some things. Those behind me on the wall, Lisa bought them in Panland, and you stitch them together and stuff them yourself. They're really good. There's quite a few different ones. They've done some spiders that are dangling in the other room. I think there's some pom-pom ones I've seen above. I'll see if I can tip you upside down. Can you see that? That orange thing is, I think it's meant to be a pumpkin. And then I've got some bats and things, but there's not much in here. Most of it's in there. That room's absolutely covered in decorations. Might show you on Friday, but they're all in there at the moment. It's hard to move around because they're doing stuff, and all of the tables and everywhere, chairs are out and stuff on everywhere. And Sean's in the middle of it doing geography as well. She did some schoolwork and do some crafting. So it's a bit hectic in there. That's why I came in here. So yeah, but perhaps show you that room on Friday so you can see what it looks like. They're not doing the outside decorations yet. It's too early. We'll do them probably on the Halloween weekend. So yeah, that's everything I've got to tell you, I think. That's what they've been doing all weekend mainly, is Halloween decorations. I do know what Lisa's doing then. Box. Remember the other week I showed you that, like it's like a Bedo box hammer beads, whatever you call them. She's made those little boxes, and she's made a lot more, but I can't tell you yet because it's to do with some of the children, and they watch and they'll see what it is, so I can't tell you what it is. Probably when the time comes, it'll probably be Halloween, I'll be able to show you then what it was. So it's really good. She hasn't quite finished it yet, so she's hoping it works how she wants it to work, but if it does, they'll be really good, and I'll be able to show you one then. So we'll just have to wait a couple of weeks longer before you see what it is. So yeah, that's that. I think we're going to go on the trail of pumpkins later on and see if we can find some pumpkins. I think there's quite a lot everywhere. We're on about going to a pumpkin farm, but I don't know. There's so much dearer, aren't there, when you go to the pumpkin farms? They entice you to these places and they have all these activities and they say it's free, but the pumpkins are twice the price as if you go to the supermarket and pick one up. So really, it's not free. You're paying for them. You're paying, when you pay for your pumpkins, you're paying the extra to cover whatever they said was free. So yeah, I don't know. I suppose it's just the fun of going though, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to waffle all day if I carry on, so I'm going to leave you now. Today, like I say, is Tuesday, so I'll be back on Friday. Don't know what we're doing Friday. We'll see what's happening. See if I can get some snippets of different things. And I know I've got 2 more books to show you, but, you know, they can wait for a while, can't they? See if I can show you some snippets of what we've been up to and, you know, what Sean's doing and whatnot. So until Friday, take care, and I'll see you then. Bye.